hit your mute button if you prefer. Okay. I want to run over these trades really quickly, the trade possibilities from this morning, and then I'm going to give you a tip that occurred to me, especially at this time of year. It can make it's a real little helpful tip. At least I think so. So where we left off was this morning about what, 8:30? Let's see here. Okay, at 8:30 we were noticing that crude oil had gone up during the night, and early morning there was a trade that you could have taken if you were ready for it right here. And then it seemed to go down, so we were given a good signal right here at well, this was 8:02, 8:43. This, but if you notice the 12 ticks of this bar right here put in one of these ice, not ice, these are the institutional zones. So when you go and check out what Trend Catcher was telling us, it did put in a southbound valid entry right here at 44. Say you took it at 44. 44 just happens to coincide with this band, this institutional zone. So if you took this down, where would you be looking to get out? Let's just look at this for the possibility of an entry right here. And then where would you reasonably make an exit? You could have targeted the red ice, but really and truly realistically, is that enough reward for the risk of taking on a trade? It's right here with settlement, so you would certainly want to tighten your stop down. But when it went through here, the next stop for take profit might have been right here. If you had the confidence that it would continue, there's another possibility at the high of last session right here. And then if you, what do we know when it gets down toward the low of the day? It will either go down and test that and bounce off of it, or it will blow through it. So if you were thinking, gee, I don't know, I'm not sure, you certainly could have used this. This today's open is right here. So there's lots of little points along here. At this point, and if you notice, the deviation took a mountain, went right on down. So if you notice down here, what happens? The trend catcher gives us an entry right below this magnet, but it's got a green band, so you could conceivably have taken this. Very aggressive entry would have been off of the high of last session right here. Oh, phooey, that doesn't want to. Could have taken it off the high. That would be a very aggressive entry. You could have used the trend catcher, which would have given you one at the top of this this bar. I don't like to get too many things on one chart because then I start to get confused, more confused, shall we say. There's another entry here, possibility at the magnet. There's so if you took one of these entries, then where would you be going? And the answer to that would be the target from here As long as you've got volume, which you did, and this is continuing, your RSI is continuing up, you've got right here this tall green bar which tells you there should be enough momentum to get this going. You could get out here, you could get out, there's lots of places along here where you can get off the bus if you're getting nervous about anything. But the best part of this is to use your 30-minute, and look at this. When it puts up this kind of a tall candle right here, this is going to go. So, looking at this, trying to get everything on the chart here. It went up to the deviation, which would have been a great spot. Right here, the top of the band, the institutional volume zone, right on up to this magnet. Put in another one. This is an also, when you get several streets here all coming together, that bus driver is going to have to exert a little petrol to get through there. So we've got a magnet, we've got a deviation, we've got this. This tends to be, after you've had a nice run like this, then I would be getting off the bus right here, because all good things come to an end. And this is going to stop up here somewhere. So take your money, take it off the table. You can always get back in, always. And monitor your six tick through here too. One thing I noticed on this, I wanted to call to your attention. Do you see this, this 10-minute was putting everything in right here at one level, but there was, the range channel was giving us a hint that it might want to go on up from here, and it didn't go very far, but at least these are things to observe while you go along here. So anyway, that was the really nice trade, and then you could have shorted this off of this, given the trend catcher also gave us a hint about that too. But at this time of day, when you've had a nice run like this on crude oil, Joe did a super job this morning. Take the money and run. Enough's enough. Don't push your luck. When you have a nice run like this on crude oil, it will tend to stop and chop. Just avoid it. Avoid it. You want the good stuff. Okay? And then I really like these institutional zones. I think as we get more experience in using them, we're going to just love them. So one thing I wanted to show you that I think will really help, especially in this slow market, and you're thinking, good grief, how long do I have to sit here waiting for it to get where you want it to go? In your indicators, there is a, it's a diagnostic, I think it's a price alert. Yeah, right here, diagnostic under P for price, price alert. You can add that. You can put some kind of a color on it. You can make it dashed or how fat you want it to be, and tell this okay. Now, if you notice, the price on here is 8,190. Clearly, that's not going to do a thing for you on crude oil. So let's say you wanted to be warned if this broke this green ice zone to the south, or if it broke the high of the day. The high of the day is 44.83. What you do is you go to this indicator. You now have it on here. Find your price alert. and put in, I don't know, let's say 5-tick warning before it retests the high. So that's about, let's just say you want to be warned at 44.75. So you put in here 44.75, tell it okay. And we've got this alert put in here. This is as easily moved. You can drag it. You change your mind. You want to be alerted if it gets, I don't know, 5 ticks below here. You want to be alerted at the top of this band right here. This makes a doorbell sound. So if you step away from your computer for a minute or two and you hear the doorbell, then your alert has been hit, and it'll call you right back to your computer and you can check and see where that is. If you want to get rid of it and you don't want to hear it for a while, but you want to just put it down here somewhere out of your way where it's not likely to hit. Okay, so those things, especially in a slow market, are very, very helpful. And you can put 2 or 3 of them on if you want. Just make them different colors and be sure you set the times where you want them to go. So I'll see you at 2:30. We'll do a wrap, 2:25 to 2:30-ish. And I'm not expecting this to take a direction right now. The bus driver's having lunch. Typically, we've had some very nice runs on here, certainly some tradable scalps, as well as the really nice couple of runs. So be careful of the chop. The Canadian dollar has gone steadily climbed all morning, which is a good thing for crude oil. Brent has pretty much mirrored. It did have one red candle right in here at about the same time, but the Canadian dollar has gone up. If you had a gold trade on this morning, you should be a very happy camper if you were long gold. The dollar has been falling and bonds have been drifting down all morning. The indices, many times TF will lead the indices, but today it looks like the Dow and the ES have led the way. So we'll see what happens in the afternoon, and I'll see you later. Take care.